This is a review of this cute little tarot deck. This is the Tarot de Marseille. Marseille? I think I'm saying that right. I actually asked a friend how to pronounce it properly. So make sure you have a friend who teaches you how to pronounce things. This deck has a lot of good and bad aspects. So I want to talk to you guys about what I think about it. This deck was sent to me for review, and I greatly appreciate receiving these decks for review. So I'm going to talk about some things I like. I love the small size. This is an amazing travel deck. I love, love, love that it comes with this really nice book. And one of the things that I really love about this book is when you look up the definitions of the tarot cards, it's not overly complicated. The definitions are easy to understand, clear coded, and therefore this would be a good deck for beginners. I feel like this deck is really cute. It comes in this little box. I feel like the artwork is definitely interesting. I'm trying to place it. It feels a bit medieval. Um, I like that the deck has this really cool black kind of edging, but as you can see, the more you play with the cards, the more you shuffle the deck, the edging will disappear. So just be aware of that. It's a really cool effect and it feels really nice. It's kind of silky, but it will get, scuffed up as you play with the deck. So I'm small, I'm 4'11". This is the deck next to my hands. This is a great travel deck. Now I'm going to say this about the deck. The cards are fairly sturdy. They're really solid. They're in pretty good condition and easy to shuffle. I feel like the artwork for the Major Arcana cards is really nice. It's very much in leaning with primary colors: blue, red, and yellow. It's pretty much all you're going to see in this deck, other than obviously black and white. Um, I feel like the Major Arcana cards are really well done. I feel like they did a good job. Yeah, it really reminds me of like medieval paintings. If you go to like medieval churches, you see these stained glass windows with the medieval paintings or tapestries. The art really feels like it's leaning in that style. And if you like that, this is going to be a really good deck for you. Every time I review a deck, I have to keep something in mind that maybe you may or may not have to keep in mind. Is I am legally blind, and as somebody with visual impairment, I need to really think about the type of decks that I use and what's going to work for me with my visual issues. So, while these Major Arcana cards are really nice and easy to identify. I have no problem with them whatsoever. And I really like the artwork. I think that they did a really good job. And I feel like these cards are unique enough to add to your collection, but they're similar enough to, say, the Rider Waite deck that they don't feel too hard to learn. I think this would be an excellent deck for beginners because the book has such great, easy to understand definitions. Here's the part of the deck that I don't really love and enjoy, and I kind of feel like it's a cop out when decks do this, when they don't do full detailed art for the lesser cards. This is the cups, and you just see that all the cups are just cups. There's nothing there. And I feel like that is just, I don't like to see that. I feel like when you're reading tarot, for me at least, it really feels like a richer experience when you're seeing all the different scenes depicted in the Lesser Arcana. And I feel like I don't have as much of a fun or enjoyable experience. I'm going to say something else, and this may be just a me thing because my vision issues, but in this deck, I felt like the swords and the wands looked very similar. So when I was putting this deck in order to be able to do this video, because whenever I show a deck, I like to show it in order, it was really hard for me to tell the difference between the wands and the swords. And I kept getting them mixed up. And if you can see right here, for me, they look similar. And a lot of times when I use a deck, I'm doing readings. And so I'm trying to shuffle and ask and do things kind of quickly. So this is the type of deck that like I would have to take an extra couple of seconds to really read the bottom of the card, and that can get kind of tedious. Like I said, this may just be a me issue, it may not be a you issue, but I thought I'd mention it because I just want to be really straightforward and honest. Again, the court cards are lovely, really beautiful. I really feel like they did a good job with the artwork, and I wish that it carried through the whole suit, or the whole, not the whole suit, the whole deck, I guess is the better word to say that. This is the Pentacles section right here. I cannot remember in this book if they call them pentacles or coins, but either way, pentacles, coins. Who would this deck be good for? I think this deck would be really good for a beginner. I think this deck would be good for anybody who likes to travel. Oh my god, you know what this deck might be really good for is if you wanted to do tarot readings at like a Renaissance fair. I feel like this deck would fit in beautifully at like a Renaissance fair or something like that. I feel like if you are a mobile psychic and are always doing fairs and parties, or if you just like to travel and you always want to have a deck on hand, I love the box that it comes in. I like the portability. I feel like the colors are vibrant and happy. I'm just showing you what it would be looking like if you were going to do a reading with these cards, placing down some cards. I like the death card. I think it's interesting. I don't often see a death card depicted just like that, and I kind of like that. I think it looks really cool. Um, but yeah, I think these cards are really fun and unique and enjoyable to use. I feel for me specifically, I don't really feel like this deck is going to be part of my general rotation, but I think that it could be part of yours if you like it. Like I said, the biggest issue for me is my vision. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will have a link to the deck below. Take care, everybody.